What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you guys a review of this Asics Gel-1130 in the cream and kale colorway. Today's video is sponsored by Move Insoles. Move Insoles is one of the up-and-coming leaders in the performance insole space. Their products are designed and tested by pro athletes like Chris Paul and Damian Lillard of the NBA. And while they're more known for their performance insoles to be worn for sports, they also sell this one right here, which is their all-day insole, which is meant to be worn for everyday casual use sneakers. So this to me is one of the most technologically advanced insoles I've ever worn. And it's packed with a ton of different features. You'll see that the majority of this insole, this is actually constructed out of their recharge foam technology, which is what gives this insole that bouncy and responsive feel. And then on the back half of the insole, you'll see this black colored plate. This essentially is a TPU shank plate, which really helps to cradle and support your foot, which to me at least is one of the main drawing points of this insole. I feel very locked in and very supported, especially underneath the arches of my feet. And aside from that though, there's also other features. For example, we have additional padding on the heel of the insole to give you that added impact protection in the areas that you need it most. So if you guys are curious to try a pair for yourself, I've added their social media, their website, all that good stuff down below. So check them out, try a pair for yourself, let me know what you guys think, and be sure to tell them that I sent you. So back to the shoes, this is a general release colorway of the Asics Gel-1130. Releasing a couple weeks back, they retailed for a price of $95 US, which is extremely affordable actually, or 130 Canadian dollars converted. And the colorway for this shoe is cream and kale, and this adds to the popularity of the Gel-1130, which is a running shoe that released back in 2008. Nowadays though, this type of sneaker is being worn heavily as an everyday casual use sneaker, which is a great thing because these 2010s era running shoes, for the most part, they're extremely comfortable. So jumping right into the details, the base layer of this shoe, as visible on the toe box, this is covered in this open style mesh in this cream color. Right above this towards the laces, we have the Asics branding in green, and then overlay on both the sides and the front of the toe box. We have these metallic silver overlays, which is given this brushed appearance to it, and we have this cream colored detailing on the front toe box. So we have these same silver overlays covering the eyelets of the sneaker, and then on the mid panel of the shoe, we have the signature Asics stripes, which is done in a mix of silver and this vibrant deep green. Moving downwards, you can see we have a lot more of that open style cream colored mesh. And then we have another silver colored overlay, which starts from the heel and swoops downwards towards the mid panel. And here you can see we have gel branding. And then on the medial side, we also have another overlay here as well, which gives you additional support and structure. And there's also an internal heel counter, which is beneath the mesh. And this really adds a ton of support for the back end of the sneaker. In terms of laces, so these only come with one lace option, and they're a flat style lace done in this cream color. Underneath this, the tongue is constructed out of that same open style mesh that the body of the sneaker is done in. And then on the very top of the tongue, we have these silver and green overlays with Gel-1130 branding, along with Asics branding right next to this. The back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in this green colored mesh-like material, and there is some padding around this inner collar area. And then as far as the insoles go, so these come with an Ortholite branded foam insole, which feels decently thick and plush to the touch. And then stamped onto the heel, here we have Asics branding in green. So the upper of the Gel-1130 sits atop this full-length EVA foam midsole, which is entirely painted in white. Encased within this midsole, we have Asics gel technology, which sits within the heel of the midsole, and this helps with impact protection and shock absorption. And then finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, this outsole is constructed out of a mix of green and cream colored rubber. We have these flex grooves on the forefoot to give you added flexibility. And then in the middle of the outsole, here we have this green colored TPU shank plate, which is there in place to help with torsional rigidity and mid-foot support, and to help prevent your foot from twisting when you're running. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And in terms of sizing, my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I got these in a size 10 and they fit me perfectly. I feel like for most people, going true to size should be perfectly fine for you, but if you have a really wide foot, you might want to consider going up a half size. To give you guys a point of comparison, I also wear a size 10 in the Gel KN014 and the GT2160 as well. So whatever size you wear for those silhouettes, I'd stick with that exact same size and you should be okay for this model. Moving on to the comfort, so the Gel 1130 is an extremely comfortable sneaker. Like I said in the beginning, even though it was originally made to be a running shoe, wearing these casually, they feel great on foot. The cushioning in the midsole has a very soft, very plush feel to it. In comparison to a Gel K-14, I feel like that model has a lot more support and it feels a bit more rigid underfoot, whereas these guys, they have more of that pillowy, soft feel. So if you're someone that prefers more of a stiff, more of a firm setup, then I'd probably recommend against this shoe. But if you like more of a plush, softer feel underfoot, then this shoe is going to be right up your alley. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, so first off, material quality, to be honest, was pretty underwhelming. These are all just synthetic overlays. There's no genuine leathers or suedes or anything like that on this sneaker, which I guess makes sense considering this was originally released as a 2008 running shoe. It just so happens that this era of running shoes happen to be more popular now for everyday use. So framing it that way, I wasn't really too disappointed with the material quality, but it is what it is and they aren't quality materials. And from a craftsmanship standpoint, for the most part, this pair was pretty well built. I didn't notice any major flaws at all. The stitch job was pretty good, the glue stains were kept to a minimum, and the placement and the sizing of the panels looked consistent to me at least. So for a relatively affordable sneaker at $95 US, I think you pay the price in terms of material quality, but at least they didn't sacrifice the build quality. So with all that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up for you and I'll show you guys how these look. If we're talking about the colorway of this shoe, this is a pretty fresh colorway. The mix of this cream, the white, the silver, and this very bold, almost Boston Celtics-like green, it's a really eye-catching sneaker. And what it comes down to at the end of the day is, are you a fan of this 2010s era sort of running shoe look? Or are you old enough that you experience this era of sneakers and all you see when you see this shoe is a performance runner or a dad shoe? So I feel like the sneaker community is kind of split in that sense. Some people absolutely love these sort of sneakers, whereas other people, they just can't see these as being stylish. So drop a comment down below. What do you guys think about both this Gel 1130 silhouette as a whole? And what are your thoughts about this specific colorway? I think this colorway is a very easy shoe to pull off. It has that right balance of being versatile enough while still incorporating some level of pop with the colors. So I think this is a very solid option. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at sgo8, check out my Twitter or X account at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. Before I end this video, another huge shout out goes out to Move Insoles. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, and I'll catch you guys all in my next review.